Hello and welcome to our Research Week special of our Lunchtime Research Talks. From the 16th to the 19th of June 2026, you can tune into a different bite-sized talk over lunch with CCA, Derry, Londonderry and Ulster University by different PhD researchers introducing their topics and the opportunity for you to ask questions at the end. The aim of these short lunchtime talks is to share with the wider world just some of the research that's taking place at Ulster University, with the Research Week special coming from the drama, performance, film and screen studies. This talk will last no more than 30 minutes, including the Q&A, and you can see the archives from our previous season on our YouTube channel. Search for CCA Derry Londonderry on YouTube to find it. And this week's talks are all joining them, so you can watch again or catch any you may have missed. Thank you to Ulster University, especially Dr. Byron Bridges, Dr. Catherine O'Hara and Professor Justin McGee, and to our funders, Arts Council of Northern Ireland, Derry City and Strabane District Council and Garfield Weston Foundation. Housekeeping. Please mute. Please put your questions in the chat as we go along. We are recording, but we won't be recording the Q&A, so don't be shy. Ask that question and enjoy. So for our final talk of Research Week, Latifa Yeasmin is talking about her topic, Citizenship Without Belonging, Biragona Women, State Recognition and the Crisis of Memory in Contemporary Bangladesh. This talk explores the paradox faced by Biragona women, survivors of sexual violence during Bangladesh's 1971 Liberation War, who received the state title of War Heroine, yet continued to experience profound social exclusion. Drawing on feminist citizenship theory, honour studies and theatre as counter-archive, it examines how performance can persevere memory and assert belonging where formal recognition has failed, with particular urgency given the ongoing erasure of 1971 heritage in 2024 to 25. Latifa is a PhD researcher at Ulster University School of Arts and Humanities, where her research sits at the intersection of theatre, feminist citizenship, gender and honour. She's also an assistant professor at the Department of Dramatics at the University of Chittagong, Bangladesh, and an experienced theatre practitioner with the credits across national and international festivals in Bangladesh and India. So, over to you.
Thank you, Catherine. Thank you so much. So good afternoon, and my name is Latifa Yeasmin. I'm a PhD researcher at Ulster University in drama. My research examines how Bangladeshi theatre represent the experiences of Birangona women, survivor of systematic sexual violence during the 1971 Liberation War in Bangladesh. Today, I want to focus specifically on one dimension of my work, the concept of citizenship without belonging, and how this concept connects to contemporary crises that facing Birangona women in Bangladesh. So, I will begin by outlining the historical context of the 1971 Liberation War and the Birangona women, and then I will introduce my concept of citizenship without belonging and the theoretical framework underpinning it. From there, I will discuss the contemporary crisis, the destruction of memorials and archives in 2024 and 2025, and what this means for surviving Birangona women in Bangladesh. And also, I will briefly touch the theatre's potential role as counter-archive. So, the 1971 Liberation War. During the 1971 Liberation War in Bangladesh, between 200,000 and 400,000 Bangladeshi women were systematically raped by Pakistani soldiers. It is very important to understand that this mass rape was not incidental, it was strategic. And after independence, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman gave the survivor the title Birangona, meaning War Heroines, attempting to reframe their experience as national sacrifice rather than shame. However, this official recognition never translated into social acceptance. Birangona women remained stigmatized and rejected by their families and communities. They actually lived between formal honor and everyday exclusion. A state could confer a title, it could not confer the belonging. So, now the citizenship without belonging. This brings me to my core theoretical arguments. which I frame as citizenship without belonging. I draw on three key bodies of scholarships here. First, Ruth Lister's feminist citizenship framework, and second, Aishigel's work on honor-based violence and Patterson's work on social death. And third, Bochenska's concept of performing citizenship. So, Ruth Lister's feminist citizenship framework. Lister argues that citizenship must be understood as lived practice and embodied identity, not merely legal status. So, meaningful citizenship requires active participation, communal recognition, and a genuine sense of belonging. Now, Aishigel's work on honor-based violence and Patterson's concept of social death. Birangona women were formally citizen, and Sheikh Mujibur Rahman conferred the title Birangona. But honor-based logics rendered this recognition meaningless. I term this citizenship without belonging. Birangona women experienced the denial of substantive community membership despite their physical survival. Now, the third, Bochenska's concept of performing citizenship through creative practice. This is where theatre becomes more significant. Artistic practice can perform citizenship into existence, claiming recognition where formal mechanisms have failed. Now, how this citizenship collapse. Let me illustrate how this collapse works in practice. This process moves through three stages. First, state recognition, and second, honor-based logic, third, social exclusion. So, state recognition. The Birangona title was conferred as a legal and symbolic gesture. And second, honor-based logic intervened. The deeply rooted kinship coded and gendered the norms of social honor, and that ignore what state had attempted to do. A woman who had been raped was considered dishonored, regardless of any title. And this produced social exclusion, stigma, isolation, and rejection from families and communities. The state can give you the paper or the legal title, but it cannot give you the feeling of truly belonging. Where gender and honor collide, that legal status breaks down. The gap between official honor and formal honor of recognition and everyday exclusion, I term this citizenship without belonging. Now, the contemporary crisis. I want to now discuss about contemporary crisis because it's actually a situation for Birangona women has become more urgent. Following the political uprising of August 2024, over 1,500 liberation war memorials and monuments and murals were destroyed across 59 districts of Bangladesh by Islamic radicalized group who supported Pakistan's actions in 1971 liberation war in Bangladesh. The Bangabandhu Memorial Museum at Dhanmondi 32 in Dhaka, a site of enormous symbolic importance to the liberation legacy. Surviving Birangona women are being re-traumatized as their histories are erased. Their citizenship already frustrated by honor-based exclusion. Now this is a further trauma for them. And this is why my research feels so timely and urgent. Now, why theatre matters? Theatre occupies a distinctive position as what I call counter-archival practice, unlike written testimonies or physical archivals, and which can be destroyed. But theatrical presentation engages audiences in a collective act of witnessing through embodied performance. When official memories are erased, theatre can preserve a collective memories. It offers Birangona women the sense of belonging that formal citizenship alone could not provide. My research examines works by key Bangladeshi dramatists Abdullah Al Mamun, Selim Al Din, Momtajuddin Ahmed, and testimonial literature of Nilima Ibrahim. Each of these artists has engaged with Birangona narratives in different ways. And my study analyzes how their works navigates the tension between honor, memory, and recognition. Now, research framework. My primary research question asks, how does Bangladeshi theatre negotiate the tension between formal honor, social stigmatization in representing Birangona women, and what role theatre can play as counter-archive that aimed contemporary threats to 1971 memory? Methodologically, this is a qualitative study grounded in interpretivist approach. I employ three methods: textual analysis of published plays and performance scripts, performance analysis, and semi-structured interviews with theater practitioner. Now, here is the reference list for your information, and thank you very much for your time. And this is actually a story of Birangona women is one of that demands to be told. And my research navigates and want to examine whether theater can begin, acknowledge, and address this recognition, and how theater can play as counter-archive role. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. That was really fascinating. So I'm going to stop recording now and open for our conversation.